Hello! So good to see you today. Welcome back to Art with Miss Hans, a couple of weird owls, and this guy. Today we are going to learn about this artist over here and make some beautiful winter mittens holding what else but hot cocoa. When you're out there sledding in the cold, what is better than coming in and having a nice warm cup of cocoa? Now, what we're going to add to this picture is a lot of beautiful color, but a lot of beautiful patterns as well on these mittens. So today is going to be all about pattern, and that's why we're going to study an artist named Romero Brito. That's right. He makes amazing patterns. Let's check him out. Present. Yay. Drum roll, please. Brrr, brrr. Ah, there he is. Romero Brito. He was born in Brazil in 1963, but he's been living in Florida, specifically Miami, for a very long time. People love his artwork because it's bright and colorful and happy. He wants you to feel happy when you look at his art. He also donates a lot of the money he makes to charities that help people make more art because he believes that art can spread love and joy to the whole world. And you guys, I totally agree. So let's look at his art. In this art, we see thick black outlines. We see lots of bright colors, red, pink, purple, blue, orange. And we see a girl smiling. Lots of fun patterns, dots, flowers, squiggly lines, stripes, hearts, all kinds of fun shapes and colors. Can you tell what this is? Yeah, a little boy hugging his blue dog. Pretty cute. I see polka dots and stripes and more squiggles too. Looks like we're about to get a hug from this kiddo. Aww. Oh yeah, and did I mention he likes Star Wars? You can even buy a Romero Brito teddy bear. Oh my gosh, that's what I want for Christmas. I already have salt and pepper shakers that were made by with his designs on them. Oh, spreading that love all over the world. Look at that beautiful landscape. I see more stripes and circles and squiggly spirals and polka dots and flowers. Some ideas that we can use for our art today. Oh yeah, and also he loves soccer. Any soccer fans out there? So, ladies and gentlemen, follow along with me today. We are going to make our own Romero Brito inspired winter mittens with lots of funky patterns. Here's what you're gonna need. Zoom out here a little bit. You're gonna need a piece of paper, your Sharpie, your watercolors, a cup of water, not too full, you barely need any water in there, and your brush, crayons, markers, and some kind of cup for tracing. This is the cup we're gonna trace to be the cup in our picture of hot cocoa. So choose some kind of cup. Probably not a big coffee mug, but maybe a plastic cup if you've got one at home. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Remember, keep all your supplies safe in your art kit when you're not using them. When you're not using those supplies, they must live in their home in this bag so they don't get all mixed in with your other stuff at home. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. I'm going to shrink myself smaller. I'm small. Okay. Well, not that small. Oh, a little bit bigger. There. Okay. So first off, we are going to use the Sharpie and we are going to simply draw a frame around the edge. We don't usually do this in our pictures, but I think it actually makes them look really nice. We're using a thick black line, just like Romero Brito. Don't worry if your line's not perfectly straight. It's kind of cuter that way, honestly. Looks a little more handmade then, not like it was made or something like that. Now, in the very center, we're going to trace our cup. Here's the tricky thing. You're using a Sharpie right now. If you get Sharpie on the edge of a nice cup, are Mom and Dad going to be upset? Yeah, probably, because next time you take a drink, you got black on your mouth. So choose a cup that you're not worried about getting Sharpie on, like a plastic cup that you can maybe throw away. Or instead of using the Sharpie that could hurt the cup, just use a pencil first. Let's not get Sharpie on our nice glasses at home. So I'm going to hold down that cup right in the middle, trace around it. Nice and careful like. Okay, now that I know I won't hurt the cup anymore, I can go in the dishwasher. Now I can get my Sharpie out and trace around it. That's the outside edge of the cup. And then let's draw another line inside of that to show that this is a thick mug. Now, I don't know about you, but in my hot chocolate, I like to put some marshmallows in. So let's make some little round edge squares. Usually when they're floating around, they kind of go in groups, a couple over there, maybe a couple over here, maybe one on its lonesome all over here. But let's add a couple of squares for those tasty little marshmallows. Now it's time to trace our hands to use as the mittens. We're not going to trace each individual finger. We're just going to make a wide line around our hand. So hold your hand like it's kind of holding the cup like this. Don't kind of curve it, but just lay it flat on the paper. And now I'm going to trace around my hand, but I'm not going to put the pen right up next to my skin, not touching the skin. I'm going to go out a little bit and leave a space, just like mittens are bigger than your actual hand. So I'm starting over here on the frame line. Let's zoom in so we can see that better. Boop. Move over, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to start on this edge of the frame. Go big around my hand. See, my marker's not touching my hand. It's just kind of floating away from it. When I hit the mug, I'm going to stop, hop over, keep going, down and up to the thumb. If I hit the mug, stop, hop over, keep going, and down to the other edge. So it's just a big mitten shape. Now it's really hard to draw with your other hand, so instead of trying to trace it this way with my hand that doesn't write so well, I'm just going to try to copy this shape. So I'm going to start on the edge of the mug, but on the other side, and I'm going to draw a big curve around that just goes right off the edge of the paper over here. Kind of like a candy cane shape there. I'm going to make this part that goes down and up for the mitten, and then down to the bottom for this part here. Are they exactly symmetrical? No. But does this pretty much look like a mitten? Yeah. So don't worry about it if it's not perfect. It's really fine. Now we're going to add the super fun stripes and then some patterns. Let's start by just splitting our mittens into stripes. Make sure they're nice thick stripes. Don't do lots of skinny stripes. It's going to be hard to fit designs in skinny stripes. So I'm leaving a lot of space between. Lot of space before I do my next stripe. On the other mitten, I'll do the same thing. I like to turn my paper sometimes. That makes it easier for me. Don't forget if there needs to be a stripe on the little thumb tip there too. All right, now that we've got stripes on our mittens, it's time to add some designs. I think if we add designs to the entire mitten, sometimes that can take a really long time to finish, and we don't want to get bored with our art. So let's do this. Let's just put designs on every other stripe. So I'm going to start on this one here and do something simple. I'm going to do some polka dots, just like Romero Brito did. Whatever I do on this mitten, I should do on this mitten in the same spot so they match. They are a pair, you know. Then I'm going to skip the next stripe and do this one next, just so that I'm not adding too many designs. For this one, I think I'll try a triangle design. Right side up, upside down. Right side up, upside down. You can add whatever type of design you like. Maybe there was one from the Romero Brito pictures that you liked. Oops, I might have added that in the wrong spot. That's okay. I'll leave that design there. Sometimes you make a mistake and you think, oh no! But if you just keep going, once everything's filled in, honestly, no one will notice. There we go. Then skip the next one and do this one. One of those designs I liked with Romero Britos had lots of like squiggly lines, so I'm going to add that for my next one. Remember, you can add whatever designs you like, stars, hearts, polka dots, whatever you want. I'm going to put some stripes on my last one. Awesome. So now we're done with our Sharpie. We've added the cocoa. We've added the mittens with the creza patterns. We did the frame. And now it's time to get out our markers. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, I'm going to dump out my markers everywhere so I can see all the colors of the rainbow. Don't do it. Just kind of pull them out halfway, but keep them in the box, you guys. Otherwise, they roll under the couch and the cat eats them. And then there's rainbow puke everywhere from your cat. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, keep them in the pack. Otherwise, they get lost. The only thing we're going to color in with these crayons is the designs that we made. We don't need to color in the whole thing. It'll go faster if we do that with crayons. So we're just doing the shapes, not all the empty space in between. I'm going to use some red and green so it's a little Christmassy because I celebrate Christmas. You can do whatever kind of colors you want. Maybe you even want them to match your real mittens in real life. Did I just call them crayons instead of mittens before? That's pretty funny. Remember when you're coloring with marker, if you use the tip, it makes skinny lines like that, but if you lean it over, instead of holding it up straight, if you lean it over and use the flat side, you can color things in a lot faster. If you made lines like this, you can just go over them. You don't have to like color in between them. We'll do that with crayon and it'll go faster that way. Crayon you can color really fast with and it still looks good. Marker, if you go too fast, is a little sloppy. We don't want it to look sloppy. We want it to look nice and neat. All right. Okie dokie, hokey pokies, jokey blokies. All right, done with the markers. We're using like so much stuff from our kit today. I love it when we get to use lots of art supplies. Don't you? It's nice. All right, so now we're moving on to the crayons. Every time you say crayons, you have to pronounce it like that. Crayons. Just kidding. Okay, so now I'm going to use my crayons to color in all the empty parts on my mittens. Maybe I'll start with red tips up here. See how fast I can go with that crayon and it still looks good, not too sloppy. Maybe I'll choose one other stripe to do with red too. You can color it in with whatever colors you like. I usually like to, if I pick out a color of crayon, I use it in a couple places before I'm done with it. That helps me go a little faster when I'm making my art. Use the same color in a couple spots. Now I'm going to keep coloring my mitten. I'm going to pause the video and keep coloring on my own. If you need to catch up, remember you can always pause the video. But I'm going to pause, and then when I come back, I'll have these all colored in with crayon, and hopefully you do too. And then we can do the next step. All right, you goofy goobers, did you color in your beautiful mittens? I hope so. So now, once we've got these all colored in with our markers and crayons, we've got a little bit more to do with our crayon. First, we're going to take our white and we're going to color around the rim of our cup. That way, when we paint over it, we'll make sure no paint leaks into that white area. The crayon will protect it. Our marshmallows, those are gonna be white too. So color those in with your crayon. And then we're gonna add some white snowflakes to the sky. You can do them as little dots. You can do them as this kind of a shape for a snowflake where you make a big X and then put a line through it. That's another way to make a snowflake. I like to do some really small and some really big. Then it looks like there's some that are far away and some that are close up. You can make your snowflakes in whatever way you like. They won't really show up now, but hopefully when we paint over them, we'll be able to see them better. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to paint the sky. And I'm going to give you an option here. You may color in this frame with crayon, or you can leave it white. If you color it in, choose any color you like. I did red on this last one. I'm going to try leaving this one white just to see how I like it. The biggest, most important thing is that you have a placemat underneath. Put a placemat under your paper so you're not getting crayon and marker and paint on your nice kitchen table or coffee table or desk or whatever. So now, pause the video if you want time to color your frame. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the painting step. Here's my very old messy watercolors and my water cup and brush. Remember to rinse, give it one scrape on the edge, and swirl in your color. Now, I did blue for this sky, but maybe you want to do purple like nighttime, or orange like sunset, or yellow like bright light is shining on the picture. It's really up to you. I think I'm going to do like a light orange, just because, why not? That's kind of fun. And as we smooth out that paint, hopefully we see those beautiful white snowflakes shining through. Remember to be gentle with your brush. No smashing. They don't like to be smashed. If you smash the brush, then it will be sad. And it will cry and cry. No, just kidding, it won't cry. But you might cry if it doesn't work anymore and then you can't paint anymore, Wow, I love all these bright colors. Just like Romero Brito. Gorgeous. Last thing, of course, we need to paint the hot cocoa, the best part of the picture. Rinse, scrape, swirl in the paint. Rinse, scrape, swirl in the paint. Ooh. This looks so good already, you guys. This is making me thirsty. Is this making you thirsty? I'm gonna have to fire up some hot cocoa after this. Extra marshmallows for me, please. Vegan marshmallows for Miss Hans. All right. Gorgeous. Oh, look at this beautiful picture. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had so much fun making this art with me today. I always love making art with you. Don't forget to show me a picture of what you make because I want to see it. And I will definitely leave you a comment. Until next time, see you later.